paper, right? Small announcement also to make. Now, some students, especially this further maths student, requested that this is little slow for them. So you have option. If you really want, you can join to their Saturday group. But the only problem, I have time slot on 8 to 12 only, right? Which is 2 hours time slot. I'm going a little fast in that one. I mean, in the sense, why? Because this one I'm focusing on to the first 20 questions, right? Most of you are here from, not from the further maths background, right? You need help from me for the first 20 questions to get your A. Those who need it, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do last few questions. I'm going to do, but I'm going little slow, right? Because most of you need to absorb what I'm saying, and I'm planning to do more serious parts over here. But if you those who need to go into fast and cover the last few questions, especially question 20 to 26, if you really need, let me know that you need to join Saturday group. Those who need, you can just leave this one and you can join there. But I'm not still started, right? Because there was only 2 students. I can't start with 2 students. But if you join, I can consider, right? Or else you can come with me in this one, but don't complain that I'm going a little slow. This is the speed I'm going, right? Can't make it speed for the next student. That's not fair, right? I'm going in my optimal speed, right? So you have to go with that. So if you need, let me know. I don't have another time slot. Don't ask whether we have another time slot. No, I don't. Right? Only time slot I am available Saturday 10 to 12. No evening time slots. No point of asking, right? Okay, so today I'm planning with a starting 2021 paper, and raise your hand if you didn't submit 2021 paper. Let me show you the paper. This is the paper I'm planning to discuss today. Yeah, this is the one, right? 2021. This is 2021 paper 1H. First question in the plane. Can you all see this? Is it clear to you? Blurry. Readable, right? Project the sheet. Now is it okay? Yeah. I'm planning to start this paper, right? Okay. Lamai, have you all done this one? Raise your hand. I'm not gonna call. Just need to know whether you could submit this or not. Those who couldn't submit this, why? Because see, when I discuss paper, most important thing is that you at least you have to try that paper and come, right? Then only you will understand it properly, right? I've seen some of you have submitted 2021 papers at 2020, 22, right? Now all of you have access to my folder. Am I wrong? Those who don't have access, let me know. There's a folder. All the papers are there. Normally, there's one more thing also. If you do extra paper, which I'm not asking you to do within week, just keep it with you for a while. If you send everything together, I'm getting a little stuck, right? So for a week, today just submit the 2 papers I'm sharing. I'm asking you to do. If you do extra papers, keep it folder or keep it file. When I ask you to do that paper, you just forward it within that week, right? At the end, I'll somehow arrange the facility to mark all the papers you have completed somehow, right? For right now, I'm a little stuck because there's a grade 6 I primary exam also going on, lower secondary also going on. I'm getting very high amount of papers to correct within week. That's a little bit, difficult, right? Okay, so therefore, just from right now, just try to do the 2 papers I'm sharing with you and forward it to me, right, within the week. If you do extra papers, take out a folder to whatever the paper you need and keep it with you. You can share the difficult questions with me, right? Somehow I'm getting back to you, right? Somehow, right? It is getting delayed, but somehow I'm trying to, figure out the difficult question. Okay, I'm starting from the beginning. I decided to do few papers, start from the beginning, because I realize some of you are struggling to do even very first questions. So after maybe few papers, we'll leave easy questions and we'll go for the hard parts, right? Okay, I'll take this. I think I'll take this into whiteboard. Okay, I'm starting from the first question, right? A plane flew from Madrid to Dubai. The distance the plane flew was 5,658 kilometers. The flight time was 8 hours 12 minutes. Work out the average speed of the plane. What is average speed? Average speed. Is it too much brightness? Shall I switch on one light? Are you okay? Average speed equal, if your eyes hurting, tell me, right? I'll switch on one light. Average speed equal total distance over total time. Retail, what is the problem? What is total distance? 5,658 kilometers. Time 8 hours 12 minutes. Can you put that over here? No. Then what we need to do? 8.2. Yes. 8 hours anyway in hours. 12 minutes. How we can convert into hours? You need to divide it by 60. Very good. Plus 12 over 60. 12 to 1, 60 to 5, which means 8.2. Remember. So use your calculator and help me with the answer. 690 kilometer per hour. You can write this way, or you can even write this way. Both are correct. K/H, right? Now, anyway, they have given units. Lucky you, right? 3 marks, easy 3 marks. Any questions? If you copy this, okay. If you want time to copy, tell me. I'm moving on. Here are the first 4 terms of an arithmetic sequence. Find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of sequence. Okay. This is arithmetic sequence. What is the general term of arithmetic sequence? Tell me, Ravindu. Tn equal A. A plus n minus 1 D. D is common difference. D is common difference in what? Term number. Write down these things. Term number. Use your color pen, whatever, right? And what A is what? A first term. A first term. If you can't remember theory part, write them down. Okay. Then what is the first term? 85 is the first term. A equal 85. What is D? How can you find D? 79 minus 85, which is I can't, minus 6. Am I correct? Then find an expression in terms of n for the nth term. N is n matama, right? Okay. Tn equals 85 plus n minus 1 into minus 6. So 85 plus minus 6 into n, minus 6 in n, minus 6 into minus 1 plus 6. 85 plus 6 we can simplify, which is 91 minus 6. What is Tn? Tn means nth term. What does Tn stand for? When you write, don't write Tn like this. This is wrong. N should be small. Tn. Nth term. T stand for term. Any questions? Tell me. If you have questions, tell me. This formula you need to remember. I don't know whether are they giving this in the top? Huh? There? No. Why not? They should be. No, they are not giving. Eh? Unfortunately, they are not giving. No, they don't give. So you need to remember. Okay. Finish. Copy. Take your time. Copy down. Finish. Now give me a minute. I need to mark the attendance. Help me, right? Today, next week, Mom's Day, I might take a leave. Not sure, not confirmed. Don't be happy now. I might, right? As a wedding, I am not normally go for weddings, but this is a family wedding, right? So I might have to attend. I'm not sure, right? Yeah, I'm not even going for family weddings, but this time she's my sister, so I have to go. Dinan, no. Jai is there. Lidusha, are you there? Yes. Tasandi, yes. Yumida, yes. Nadisha, yes. Tejaka, yes. Nikhil no, ne? Tenura, Udaya, ne? Yeah. Malik? No, ini. Tenula, Min Lika, ne? Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm going for the other question. Yeah. Question number 3. The diagram shows us the shape ABCDE. The area of the shape is 91.8 square centimeter. Work out the value of it. There's another request to do the vector lesson. I'm not going to do the whole lesson, but I'm going to discuss questions with you, right? I have a separate tube. Next week, I'll give you the printed tube vectors, right? We did this before, but I'm doing it again because most of you said that vectors you can't understand. It's very easily done, right? I'll give you vector tube and all the theory parts. While we're doing the questions, I'll explain, right? Likewise, if you have topics that you can't understand very well, let me know through a message. Most of you requested, at least few of you request, I'll do a revision specific field while doing the papers, right? So let me know. Okay, The diagram shows the shape ABCD. The area is given. Work out the value of x. Okay. So what we have to do is, I'm gonna separate this shape into two shapes like this, and I'm gonna name it as 1. I'm gonna name it as 2. This is what? This is a trapezium. This is also x. This is again x. Okay. So I'm gonna find area like this, right? I'm gonna write formula for area, right? Area of 1. Area 1 equals 8 into x. Agreed? 8x. See, height is 8, width is 8. This is a trapezium. Someone can tell me what is area of trapezium? Prithya, what is area of trapezium? Tell me the formula. Tell me now. So it's in the formula sheet. Is it? No. Is it? Yes. So x plus 13 into perpendicular distance. What is this perpendicular distance? This is total 14. This should be 6. Is that clear? Right. This part is 8. So if you subtract 8 out of 14, this height is perpendicular height is 6. So area of 2. You need to add the parallel sides. X plus 13 into 6 over 2. Okay. No, not clear. No. Yeah. Tell me. Triangle, yes. You can divide it into triangle and do it. Is that easy? Easier than this? Okay, we'll do that way. Anyway, maybe we'll trapezium done it, so we'll do the trapezium. Right? Okay. Trapezium, I'll do it two different ways, right? I'll do both ways, don't worry. Okay, first I'm gonna divide. Okay, I'll divide that way as a trapezium and rectangle, and I'll do it. Even with the triangle, I'll do it. Now, area of trapezium, I'll quickly remind you what is area of trapezium. When you have a trapezium, how you identify trapezium? There are two parallel sides, right? Area of trapezium is equal to, if perpendicular distance between these two sides is h, and this side, let's say, which is a, which is b. This is all unique, right? Area of trapezium a plus b into h over 2, right? This is the point, right? This is perpendicular distance. Now in this one, they have already given perpendicular distance, which is a side of trapezium itself, right? So we can find this side. See, this height is 14. This height is 8. So when you subtract, you're getting this as 6. This is x. Why? This is x means this is also x. Right? Now we'll apply this into our formula. Area of part 2, right? Which is, you need to add these parallel sides. These are the parallel sides. X plus 13. You need to multiply by perpendicular height and you should divide it by 2. Now is it clear? So we are getting 2 to 1, 6 to 3. So I'm writing, they already given the area of the shape is 91.8. Therefore 91.8 should equal to 8x plus 3 times x plus 13. Right? Okay. This is a simple equation now. So 8x plus 3x plus 39 equals 91.8. 8x plus 3x, which is 11x plus 39, 91.8. Bring 39 over here. What's the answer? Sorry, what is the value? 91.8 minus 39. Help me. 11x. Calculator. 4. 4, 4.4, 40.8. 52.8. I can understand if it is wrong, right? So come on, 91.8 minus 40 somewhere 52, right? Yes. Then divided by 11, divided by 11. So x equal what? 4.8 centimeter. Yeah. Copy down. Copy down. Copy down. Anyway, I'm sharing this. Don't worry, but still copy down. Still, copy it. Copy it. Make sure that you guys copy these things. Quickly copy it, yeah, but don't take too long. Area of trapezium they are giving, huh? Okay, finish. You're finished? Done? Shall I move on? Okay, right. Then, right. Is it clear? Can I understand? Talk to me. Anula? Nandu Tangani? Okay. Naditya? Okay. Ravindu and okay. Jai? Dinan? Sandeep? Good. Okay. Finish. Finish. Okay. Question number 4. Okay. What it says. On a farm, there are chickens, ducks, and pigs. The ratio of the number of chicken to the number of ducks is 7:2. Chicken alif C, ducks alif D. Chicken to duck ratio 7:2. Ratio of the number of ducks to the number of pigs. D to P, they say 5:9. Right? Okay. We call compound ratio. There's a lesson in grade 8. There are 36 pigs on the farm. Okay. Work out the number of chickens on the farm. When you have a ratio like this, you need to convert all these 3 ratios into one ratio. Right? That's the first thing. Can you see this duck is common to both ratios? Duck. Now we have 2 and 5. So what you need to do? Normally you find LCM those two numbers. Right? What is it? Is it a 2 and 5? What is the LCM? 5 numbers. 10. Eh? We need to multiply. So 2 into 5, 10. Multiply them and write over here. Now we need to find the ratio over here and over here. Now to get 10, I multiply 2 by 5, which means 7 also you need to multiply by 5, which is 35. To get 10, I multiplied 5 by 2, which means 9 I need to multiply by 2, 80. So I'll write what I did. I multiplied this by 5. I multiplied this by 2. Now I got a common ratio between chickens, ducks, and pigs, right? They say there are 36 pigs. You can now how many pigs are there? Now ratio is 18. You can make it 36 if you multiplied it by 2. Aren't you getting 36? Which means to find the number of chickens, that also you need to multiply it by 2, which is, I don't know whether it's clear to you or not the way I did it. Okay. So what is the answer? 70 chickens are there. Is it clear to you? Last one. Why see here they saying there are 36 pigs. 36 pigs. Now how many pigs are there? Now 18. I can make 1836 if I multiply it by 2. If you do something to these ratios, since it is a one ratio now, you need to multiply the other one also by the same number 2. Right? Because now it is one common ratio for all three animals. Right? That's why. When you do change for one, you do the same change to the others. Right? Okay. So answer is 70 chickens. Ratios. Write it down. You did 17 to 20. That's fine. Because anyway you what you did was you equal them. Totally fine. Totally fine. There cannot be different methods, right? Don't worry. If you get the correct answer, that's fine. That method is totally correct, right? That's totally correct. It is the same. Right? There are different methods, right? So I'm just doing one method, right? There can be a lot of different methods to same question. So if you have doubt, just show me, then I'll tell whether it's correct or not, right? Okay, finish. Okay, next question. It's algebra, very simple and easy. Expanding brackets, 3x into 2x, 6x squared, 3x into 3, 9x, minus x into this, minus 3x squared, minus 5x. That's easy. 6x squared minus 3x squared, 3x squared, 9x minus 5x, 4x. Tell me if you can't understand this. I don't think you can't, but any doubts? No need? Ravinder, Prithvi? Yeah, tell me. Okay. Make t subject. So yeah, p equal at minus d. Bring d over here. Binduni, previous one. Expanding bracket. Okay, ne? Tell me if you can't understand. P plus d equal at divided by a t equal p plus d over. You write your answers over here. Always use the dotted line to write the final answer. Right, I'm writing here for now since I'm using whiteboard, but make sure you write your final answer over here, right? Always write your, even though you write it over here, again write it over here, right? Always write it over there, right? Okay. Given that, okay, so we'll use our knowledge of indices. So when you multiply, you add coefficients, right? So I can write 5 plus n minus 3. Is it clear? When you divide, you subtract. When you multiply, you add. Equal to w to the power 10. You can write 5 plus n minus 3 equal 10. Why? Since base is equal, exponents you can equal separately, right? These are the exponents, power, or we call index. 5 minus 3, which is 2 plus n equal 10. If you bring n 2 over here, n equal 8. Okay? Are we done? Okay, finish. So for the next people, I am asking them to still wake up and do their work. Right? Is there okay? So you don't need to waste your time if this is easy. You can do some questions from the paper back. I know some of you find this boring. I agree. But as I told you, like first few papers, I have to do this way, right? Later we'll go a little fast with the difficult questions, right? At least first 3 paper sets. At least another 3-4 weeks. This is the way I'm doing all the questions because it should be fair for each and everyone in this class, right? After that, I'm speeding up my process, right? Sorry? 5A. 5A. This one, 3x squared plus 4x. Correct? Okay. I'm going to the other side. Okay. Probability question. Grace has a biased 5-sided spinner. Grace is going to spin the arrow on the spinner once. The table gives the probabilities that the spinner will land on red or on blue or on green. The probability that the spinner will land on orange is 3 times the probability that the spinner will land on pink. We can use unknown value. This is 3x and x. Why? Because they say probability of orange is 3 times the probability of pink. Pink, I have taken it as x. I don't know. Which means probability of orange should be 3x. 3 times, right? Okay. Work out the probability that the spinner will land on orange. Okay. What do you know about probability of one event should equal to what? Probability of particular event should equal to sum of probability is equal to what? 1. We discussed, right? Probability of let's say if you're tossing a coin, getting heads or tails. Getting head is 0.5, getting tails is 0.5, so altogether we is 1, right? Okay, so therefore I'm writing 0.2 plus 0.12 plus 0.08 3x plus x equal to 1. Reason, in any event, probability of sum of the probabilities of event is equal to 1. Is that clear? So here I'm getting what is the sum? What is the sum of these 3? Help me. 0.4 is 0.4 plus 4x is 1. If you bring this over here, 4x equals 0.6. 1 minus 0.4, 0.6. X is x is 0.15. But this is not what we need. We need 3x. Work out the probability that spinner will land on orange. Therefore, 3 into 0.15, which is 0.45, is the orange. Okay, copy. Raise your hand. Those who got it is wrong. Listen. Don't worry. Wrong. Is it clear to you now what I did? Minduni? Question. Okay, sure. In school, did you start discussing papers? No. Yes. How is it going? Good. Right. Just do the sum board. When you ask the why can't you do it with steps? Fine. So you can go to your principal and you guys are paying it. Not like government school is having under. You can compare power and so we didn't want to count, right? So, but if you're going for a private institute, if you know pay as that's your right to ask for a property sharing. You can. Go compare the people understand shit that we teach. So, that's your problem because you are not helping. You should go and complete your section on the principal. Even if you they didn't take action, you have directors, chairmen, and stuff, right? People, because that's private school, you can still talk to them. Come on, your parents can talk to them, and you can ask for a proper teacher. You should do that. That you're, taking someone's job, right? Their job to teach you properly. No, you pay. How much you pay for that? 8,000, 50, 40, 90. I mean, too much. The thing you can drop him out. Right? Do it Monday, right? Tomorrow. Log a complaint. Okay. Question number part B. Yeah, Grace spin the arrow on the spinner 150 times. What is 150 times? This is relative frequency. Can you remember relative frequency means? Experimental probability. Relative frequency means sure I know. Right? Relative frequency means when you do experiment few times, we call it experimental probability, which is not the same as theoretical probability. Right? Theoretical probability means when I toss a coin, if I ask you what is the chance of getting heads, you say always which is half. But if you do it as experiment, you are tossing a coin like 100 times and you're recording your result. Then finally, when you get that, you are not exactly seeing that half time, exactly 50 times are you going to get heads, and exactly 50 times are you going to get tails? No, maybe it's 45 times heads, 55 times tails. Can it be 10 times head and 90 times tails? Can it be? No. Then we call that is a biased coin. Our coach coin right? Because this is biased, not an unbiased object. What is biased and unbiased mean? If your object is not a fair one, you are getting one result more than the other result, right? Which is not a fair experiment, which is not a random experiment, right? Okay. Work out an estimate for the number of times the spinner lands on blue. Okay. Now, you can find estimate for number of times you land on blue. Now you know theoretical probability. You're doing this 150 times, right? So what you should do is you are multiplying this by the theoretical probability to get an estimate. This is not the actual value, but you forecasting the value, right? So what is the probability of getting blue? 0.12. 115 to 0.12 is estimated result of blue. Estimated result of blue. Okay, help me. 18 times. You can expect 18 times blue. Is that exact value that you are getting? No. You will get somewhere around that, maybe 20, maybe 22, maybe 16, likewise. Right? Is that clear to you? Write it down. So that's what you need to do if you get question like this. number of times that you do experiment into your theoretical probability, right? Okay, next question. You finish? Okay. So now, are you guys doing that thing? I told you to write down all the difficult questions in separate book. I am raising my hand. Why I am doing that? Let me show my one. See, this is my one. I'm also doing that. Me, you should also do that. See how many difficult questions I do have. All these are difficult questions. Right, but still I'm collecting that. Why? At the end of the class, I can discuss this again with you. That's the whole purpose. Right, all the good questions. I don't even know the year, but later we can find it out. I'm collecting it. So you have to do the same. Right, make sure when you do a paper, when you find a difficult question, write down the year and question number, and if you can at least write the question and do it on that piece of paper. Try to do it, keep it with you. There's time that I'm after few papers, I'm going to discuss starting all the difficult questions. You are the one who's going to ask questions. This year I need this question, I'm going to discuss that on the whiteboard likewise, right? Yeah, question number 7. Y is an integer. Write down all the possible values of y. Okay. When you have inequality like this, you need to break that into 2 inequalities and simplify. Remember? Okay. So first I'm taking this side, left side. I'm separating it like this. -4 2y. What is the answer? If you divide it by 2, minus y is bigger than or equal -2. The other side I'm separating, right, which is 2y smaller than 6, right? If you divide it by 2, you are getting y smaller than 3. Now we have 2 inequalities. I'm combining them. This is the inequality you need. All the possible values of y. So bigger than or equal mean -2 possible. Integer. What is integer mean? Dinan, what is integer? Anitya, integer. Integer is a number, I know. Integer is a number. But I need the definition. What is integer? Indonesia. Dinan, what is integer? Integer. Tenula, what is integer? Sadhana. Jai, integer. Apa integer dan diam dotting na. Ravinder, what is integer? Yes, positive or negative? Whole number. Very good. Integer is what? Positive or negative whole number? Okay, I'll give you the definition. Positive or negative whole numbers. Tell me few examples. -5, is it an integer? Dinan, -5, is it integer? Nah, -5 integer ka? Neme කියලා තමයි යා කියන්නේ. හරිද? Is it correct? Dinan? Is Dinan correct? -5, is it an integer? Yes, it is. Why? It is a whole number. -5.5, is it an integer? No. 10, is it an integer? 1, is it an integer? Yes. 0? Yes. So -1, 0, 1, 2. Can I write 3 over here? No, why? No equal sign over here. See, if you see this equal sign, you could have write 3, but now you can't. Why? Because this is not, y is not equal to 3, less than 3. Got it? So this should be your answer set. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. Yes, obviously you can do it one step, but the best way is to, without making it confused, do this. Then the chance of getting it wrong is always separate. Okay, cool. Okay, finish. I'm going to the second part. Okay, is this Adam? I can't. Hello. Yes. Okay, got it. Sorry. Solve this inequality. Okay, check this out. This is like equation, right? Okay. Shall I write this part? Erase this one. You know what is integer now, right? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, decimal. Numbers with decimals. Called? No, real numbers is something else. Real numbers. This is, it is coming, if real number is a set, it is set. Decimals coming under real number, right? So all the numbers, even irrational and rational numbers also coming under real number. You know what irrational numbers? Then irrational and rational. When I get a third question, I'll explain, right? Thirds, can you remember? Okay, I will do this one, right? Okay. 70 minus, I'll explain thirds. I'm pretty sure you can't remember. 70, right? Okay. Now this is like equal mark, right? Bring -3 over here, bring 2 over here. That's what you do. You take all the t terms into one side, all the numbers into the other side, right? Then you are getting 70 minus 2t, 31 plus 3. Tell me if this is not clear. Okay, clear. Tenula? Minduni? Okay. 70 minus 2t, 5t, 34 divided by 5. Divided by 5. What is the value? 6.8. One more thing, Lamai. Everybody listen. Small thing. Listen, everybody, everyone. Shh. Everyone give your attention. I am going to teach something from this, right? Out of this question. Okay, I'm doing it this way, different way. Because some of you might do it that way. Rather than taking 2t this side, some of you might do it this way. Right? Then you are getting -3 minus 31. Inequality sign is not going to change, same direction. 2t minus 7t. Minduni, what is -3 minus 31? Minus 30? 34? Minus 34? Yeah, minus 34, right? Okay, this one 2t minus 5t, 5t minus 5t. Now what? Now we have to divide it by minus 5. Hasini, when we divide by -1, what is the thing that we need to do? We need to change the inequality sign to the opposite direction. If you're dividing by -1, right? So this is what I'm going to do now. Minus 34, I'm dividing by minus 5. Minus 5t, I'm dividing by minus 5 because I need to remove minus 5 coefficient. What happened to the inequality sign? It changes its direction. Remember, if you're multiplying or dividing by negative number, your inequality sign should be changed to the other direction, right? You should reverse the inequality sign, right? Now what you gonna do? T smaller than minus divide by minus. Now tell me, sir, you got this one and this one. Is it different or is it same? It's different, sir, because here T is in left side, here T is in right side. Is it? No, it's the same thing, right? Because T is smaller than 6.8, here also T is smaller than 6.8. If you need, write down both methods. Here write down inequality, I write small note, inequality sign reversed when divide by negative number, right? Inequality sign should be reversed. Yeah. No. If you don't change the sign in the sense, if you don't reverse it, you are getting total different inequality. So for this, what you can do is you always try to keep your unknown term positive. Then you don't have that hassle. Why? You don't need inequality sign anymore. Always when you check the question, take the terms, switch the terms the way that you can keep it positive. Now see, that's what I did in the first one. Rather than taking 7t over here, I took 2t over here, which keep my t term positive, which kept it positive. Then no hassle. I don't need to change any inequality sign. I can get the answer as it is. But if you do this way, see 2t minus 70, obviously you are getting minus 5t, which is negative. Then you have to be careful because you have to manually change the sign when you do the division, right? Therefore, when you do question like this, if you get question like this, always try to keep the unknown term positive, right? Am I clear? Copy down. Okay, done. Okay, I'm going for question 8. Is it okay? Yeah. If you're still copying, tell me. The table shows the populations of 5 countries. China. Yeah, okay. Work out the difference between the population of China and the population of Germany. Give your answer in standard form. When you do these questions, don't use your calculator. I'll show you how to do it, right? That's the easy ways, right? Because calculator sometimes might give you wrong answers, right? Because when you type, you might make mistakes. So what's the difference between China minus Germany? 1.4 into 10 to the power 9 minus 8.2 into 10 to the power 7. This is what you should do. දැන් ඉතින් බින්දුව ඔක්කොම ටික ගහන්න බෑ අරගෙන නේ. එහෙමනේ කරේ නේ. Don't do that. You have a common factor. What is that? Take the highest power of 10 to the power 9 out from this. So then you are getting 10 to the power 9 out. Then you are getting 1.4 minus. How can you take 10 to the power 9 out of this? Any idea? Let me show you something. Okay, before I do this, I'll do it this way. 1.4 into 10 to the power 9 minus 8.2 into 10 to the power 7. I'm teaching you small trick. When you have question like this, try to make their powers equal. Exactly, very good, right? That's what I'm going to do. 1.4 into 10 to the power 9, I'm not going to change. Always remember what you are taking out, highest power of 10, not the least power. 8.2 into 10 to the power 7, how can I write with 10 to the power 9? If I bring this decimal point over here, like this, 8.2 into 10 to the power 7, I'm bringing this decimal point over here. Now what I do have, 0.82 into 10 to the power 9. 0.02, sorry. Why? You need to bring it twice, ne? Once, twice. Now all these gaps you need to fill with 0. Now we are a decimal point over here, so 0.08, right? Right? Decimal point now over here, right? 0.08, sorry. Now we have the same or not? Yeah, have the same. 0.08, ne? Yeah. Now I'm gonna write the same over here, 0.082 into 10 to the power 9. See, if you're not sure, say 1, 2. If you bring it over here, you should reduce the power, ne? Agreed? Now, are you agree with me? This is the same value, huh? I didn't change the value, right? I just changed the power. Now I'm taking it out, 10 to the power 9. Factorization, 1.4 minus 0.082. Right? What is the value? 1.4 minus 0.082? 1.318. 1.318 into 10 to the power 9 should be your answer. Raise your hand if you do it this way. Those who did it this way. Only one. Others, how you did it? May I know the way you did it? Did you get the correct answer at least? You got the correct how you did it. Can you type that on the calculator? Imagine if 10 to the power 31. Can you type it on the calculator? No, you're getting mad. I'm worried that you might take a lot of time. It's fine. It's fine. But see, my man, don't you think it's easy? Only thing you need to practice. Only thing you need to practice this, right? Those who did this way, very good. Huh? This take very less time from you, right? That's why. Practice this. Next, if you see question like this again, try to do it this way. That's the whole point. Now I'm discussing all these methods with you, Nilaman. Make sure you will apply those methods in your question. Otherwise, why should I do this paper discussion? So, what am I going This method, it takes time. How long you have taken for this question? I'm pretty sure you have taken more than me, right? Because you have right or imagine if you had 10 to the power 30. What are you going to do without this method? Can you do it? No, you will not be able to reach the power is very high. That's what I'm saying. Learn these methods, huh? Paper discussion, even from small question, you can learn a lot of things. Huh? Is it clear? Try this method. What you should do, I'm telling you again. Take the highest power. We need to take the highest power out as factor, right? See, because it's common factor to both now. Ne? See, I made it common factor. Then I took it out. Factorization. I used the knowledge of factorization. I took it out. Then inside bracket, I got 1.4 minus 0.082. But before you do that, make sure to rearrange your values with the same power. For that, I have taken this decimal point over here, right? Then I got 0.082 into 10 to the power 9, right? Okay. may do these questions again. Go home. This week, don't do anything. Take the same paper, do it again using my methods. Right? මම කියන විදිහට කරන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඒක එනවා. බයන්න එපා. දැන් මේ සතියේ තව පේපරයක් එවනවා. That's a different story. But this paper, do it again using my methods. Now, anyway, I'm sharing this answer sheet. PDF I'm sharing after the class. So you take that, keep it with you. You try to do the question without taking the help of that. Even recording is there, right? So try to do it without taking help. And if you can't do it, then come and check. Right? Because I'm telling you, the same question is circling around, right? Same question repeating. You will see the patterns when you do few papers, right? Okay. Given that population of Fiji is 1 over k into population of Sweden, work out the value of k, give your answer correct to the nearest. Okay. Fiji, what is the value? 9.1 into 10 to the power 5. Nine point one, sorry. Equal 1 over k into population of Sweden. What is it? 9.9 into 10 to the power 6. 9.9 into 10 to the power 6. Okay. What we need to do now? K is in denominator. So I'm taking k to the other side. What happened? A denominator goes to the other side, which goes to numerator as a multiplication. We all know that. So k into 9.1 into 10 to the power 5 equal 9.9 into 10 to the power 6. Now I'm bringing this whole value over here. What happened? K equal 9.9 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 9.1 into 10 to the power 5. Right? When you do this, before you do this simplification, simplify your powers and calculator. Right? Do this way. You can simplify this part first. You know what to do, which is k equal 9.9 over 9.1 into 10 to the power 6 minus 5. Why? Laws of index laws, right? So then you are getting now find the value. Now find this value. What is 9.9 into 9.9 divided by 9.1? Help me with the value. 1.08 into 10, which is 10.8. In the question they say nearest whole number. What is nearest whole number? 10. When you're rounding off to nearest whole number, check what is in first decimal place. 8. 8 goes to nearest 10, which means it gives plus 1 to 10. Answer is 11. A rounding off part, if it's not clear, tell me. Rounding off, not clear. Clear. Don't be silent. Okay. Answer should be 11. Write down. Method, write down. Even if you answer correct, write this down. Because these methods you need to learn. You can save your time in the exam. Right? It's not that somehow you get the answer. That you get the answer within this time, minimum time, right? That's what important. Because you have 2 hours. You know, the last few questions are very difficult. You need more time. You need to save time from the very first few questions, right? Anyway, first few questions, but no need to write this much of steps. Yeah, I do that. This is because you need to understand, right? Even if you write few steps and answer, totally fine. But gradually increase your number of steps when you go to question number 10, 15, when you pass 20. After 20, anyway, you have to write a lot of steps, right? No option. Okay, you're done. Finish. Copy it. You all got the printed paper packs with you, right? Everyone got it, right? Jai, got it. Naditya, have printed paper of this one. Now, why? Get it. Make sure when you come to class, bring it, because it's fine you're writing on separate book. I'm fine with that, but I think it's easy, when you have paper you can write it from there, right? You can save your time, right? Theoretical parts it's fine writing on book. Ravindu, the retail finish, still copying, finish. Okay, question number 9. Okay, okay, this is easy. What is the common factors? 25 and 45, what is common? 5, only 5, we cannot take anything else. A to the power 4, a to the power 9, a to the power 4 common. C to the power 7, c to the power 3, what's common? The least power, c to the power 3 common. D, H, can we take any of them? No. 25 divided by 5, 5. A to the power 4 we have taken. Out of c to the power 7, 3 taken, which means c to the power 4. D we didn't take. Out of 45 divided by 5, 9. A to the power 4 taken, which means a to the power 5 remains. C to the power 3 taken, H remains. Is this clear to you too or not? Induni, no. Clear. Dinan, Jai, Tasandi, Dakshin. So what is this? Then kiyan baland A plus B expansion from Minduni. Tell me, expand it. And then තුවක්කුවක් තියාගන්න මට දුරට යන්න බෑනේ. ඒතකොට වෙඩි තියනවා කිව්වේ නැත්තම්. ඒකවල තියෙනවා. අර මේ ප්ලාස්ටික් ගෝල දාලා වෙඩි දින තුවක්කුව තියෙන්නේ. ඒක. අර දැම්ම තිබ්බට හොක් ගාලා. A plus B. Yeah, I know that. එහෙම තමයි. A plus B squared is this. This is not what I need. I need expansion. One shot. A minus B squared also I need. Then I can't hear. A x squared. No, I need expansion of this one. Hasini, help me. 2b squared. Ne? B squared. මේකෙන් කටපාඩම් මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්තම් බෑ. මොකද්ද? Square of first term multiply same two terms and multiply it again by 2 square of last term. Pattern එක lazy. Square of the first term. Term දෙක multiply කරනවා A and B and then again multiplied by 2 square of last term. Then A minus B squared. Tell me. Minus B squared, sorry. Minus. Ne? Hari ne? Correct ne? Retail? Is it correct? Done ne? Sir කියන එකක් තමයි. Tenula? This is positive. When middle negative, only middle term becomes negative. මේක කටපාඩම් මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ. Right? This should be your somehow memorized by heart, right? Okay. Okay, I'll keep it. Copy down. This is the theory. Expansion should be fast because you don't have time to write it twice and multiply and do all that in the exam. One shot you should be able to expand this. Okay, let me give you 2 examples. X plus 3 expansion, 2x minus 1 expansion. Do this without writing it twice and multiplying. Follow this method and do it. I'm going to erase this. I just need to see how you're going to do it. I'm going to make a follow the same one. Follow the same method. Question? You should use my method. Don't do that. Why? I can teach you the method, but you're not getting you. Okay. Check this, guys. What do you need to do first? Square of first term. Multiply both terms 3x. Again multiplied by 2, which is 6x. Right? 3 into x, 3x, 3x into 2, 6x. All the terms positive. Why? Because middle sign is positive. Then square of last term 9. Why? How come this is difficult? It's very easy, ne? Why don't you practice it rather than wasting your time to expand that way? Hmm? What about this one? Square of first term, which is 2x squared. Now you have to square both terms. Remember, multiply these two, negative sign, 2 into 2x into 1 into 2 plus 1 squared. So which means 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. Right? You don't need to write 2 steps. I did it because of you, right? You could have write it one shot. Okay. Copy down, copy down. Practice these things at home, please. These are the tactics for you to save time at the exam. දැන් අහන්න එපා සර් ඉතින් මේක මගේ විදිහටම කරන්නද කියලා. එහෙම කරන්න ඕන නම් මම මේ කියලා දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ. So I should not teach you this නේ. Right? So follow what I am teaching, right? I'm doing this with a reason, right? You will never understand why I am doing this way. You will understand it once you finish your exam. Therefore, follow exactly what I'm saying, right? So come with me. Don't do anything stupid or anything what you feel is correct. Right? Always follow your teacher, right? Okay. I'm gonna erase this one because I need space, right? Have you copied it? Huh? Okay. Okay. Now check this, Lamai. I'm expanding this. Help me now. Tell me. What the first term? 4x squared y square first term. Multiply the two terms, which is 10x. Again multiply by 2, 20x. Square of last term, 25. They're not ready. This one you don't have a choice. You have to follow the FOIL method. Right? First outside, inside, last. Right? 2x into 2x, 4x squared. 2x into minus 1, minus 2x. Right? With this term, multiply the whole bracket. With the second term, multiply the bracket again. 3 into 2x, 6x. 3 into minus 1. Is that clear to all of you? Dinan? Okay. Now, see, 4x to 4x, you can cancel out. Why? Anyway, you know, if you take that to the other side, which is minus 4x squared, which becomes 0. 20x plus 25 minus 2x plus 6x, which is 4x minus 3. Bring it over here, bring it over here. See, I'm trying to keep my x positive. Can you see that? Because I could have taken 20x over there. Then I'm getting negative values, which is a headache, right? So 20x minus 4x minus 3 minus 25. What is the value? 16x minus 28. X equal minus 28 over 16. Help me with the value. Minus 7 minus 7.7 over decimal value give me the decimal minus 1.75. Even fraction okay, yeah? Even if you write minus 7 over 8, totally fine, nah? 704, sorry, 704. This is also fine. Even decimal also fine, right? Okay. Okay. Any questions? Copy it down, copy it down. Finish. Copy. Others can try some questions from the paper if you feel this is a little boring. For those who do further maths, try some questions. Don't waste your time. But when I teach something on the board, give your attention back to board, right? Is that right? Do some questions. Paper pack, you have some questions remaining. Go there and do it. Okay, finish. Copy. Can you help me with that? Let me, I'll write something. 9. 45 over 5a minus 2. This is in bracket like this. Now what you're asking is very nice question from further class student, right? Okay. Huh? Numerator only. Why 9 is a numerator? Daru. Remember, this 9 is not multiplying with 45 and both 5a minus 2. Why? It's a numerator. It's only multiplying with 45. Okay. I think right? Right? Remember, because when you multiply now, tell me this. Okay, let me show you something. Everybody, give me attention. Tell me, Minduni, x, is it multiplying with 3 or is it multiplying with 4? Is it multiplying with this line? Huh? Minduni, what do you think? X. Now, there's a multiplication sign between this fraction and x. That's invisible. My question is x multiplying with 3 or is it x multiplying with 4? Natara madadini irat ekka multiply වෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ sir. මැද්දේනේ ඉන්නේ. එහෙමද? කොහෙද? දින? Huh? Is it just simple question? Either with 3 or with 4 or with 2, both. Both. ඒ කියන්නේ උත්තරේ වෙනවා once you multiply 3x or 4x. ඉතින් එතකොට x කැපිලා 3 or 4 වෙනවා. Again, simple things, but you don't know. X is belong to numerator. Daru, even if you write middle, we can write the same thing like this: 3x over 4. But when you write it, normally we write this way. Things are I don't know, right? This is how we write it. But meaning of this is x is multiplying with 3. X is a numerator. If it is multiplying with denominator, they are giving it this way: 3 over 4 into 1 over x. Then answer is 1 over 3 over 4x. So here x is a numerator, invisible denominator is there. Remember, what you not that daga. This is something for your knowledge, right? I'm going to erase it. Not but ask the questions, right? These are small things, but yeah, I know you might make mistakes. Get them clear. How about the question that making? I get some idea, right? 9 into 45 over 5 and 3a minus 6. Right? I just made out this question. Guys, check this. Now I'm gonna simplify this. I'm gonna cancel out. Say 9. You know denominator and numerator we can cancel out. 3 to 1, 9 to 3. Correct, ne? Correct, right? Dina? Correct. Correct. Is it correct? Asini? Correct. Why can't we cancel out? Teja, correct, ne? No. Why? Here you have negative sign. Now, if you had 9 into 45 over 3a lamai, yes, you can cancel out this way. That's totally fine. That's correct. But here, can you see there's a minus 6? Huh? No, you can't cancel this way, which is totally wrong. But can you see, you can factorize denominator. Can't you take 3 out? Okay, let me do it over here and show you. These are small things which you don't know, right? 9 into 45 over 3a minus 6. Now, ඔගොල්ලෝ මෙහෙම කපන්න එහෙම වැරදි ඈ. හොඳටම වැරදි. ආයේ ගානම ඉවරයි. I'm telling you in Sinhala also, which is totally wrong. But if you had 9 into 45 over 3a, you can do that. 3 to 1, 9 to 3. Or else even you can cancel out 3 to 1, 45 to 50. That's totally fine. Here what we can do? We can simplify this. Can you see? 9 into 45. Can't you take 3 out? A minus 2. And now can we cancel out? Now you can. Now you can cancel out 3 to 1, 9 to 3. You are getting 3 into 45 over A minus 2. Is that clear to all of you? Remember these things. Huh? If you're not sure, ask. If you need, write them down. I don't know. Random things. Huh? I'm just randomly discussing for you to get understanding. Just have some note, right? Here is this. Yes. Same paper? No. Another. Say it's okay. Shall we keep it until finish? Come, I'll show it, right? Okay. If you have questions, bring it at the end of the class, right? Other than what I'm discussing. Is it clear? Shall I erase? Huh? No. Yeah. Then put it, leave it as it is. Then you can't simplify it. If you can't factorize denominator, you can't do nothing. You just need to multiply numerators 9 into 45, 3a or whatever, it's over there. If you can't factorize, you can't simplify it. That's it. Right? Okay. I'm gonna erase. Is it okay? Okay. Yeah. Jethro has had 5 tests. 5 tests. Each test was marked out of 100 and Jethro's mean mark for 5 tests is 74. Jethro has to sit one more test that is also to be marked out of 100. Jethro wants his mean marks for all 6 tests to be at least 77. Work out the least mark that Jethro needs to get for the last test. Okay, what is mean? Mean equal sum divided by number of values. Can you remember this? You need to add all the values together and divide by number of values to get mean, right? Okay, according to that, he has sat for 5 tests out of 100 and his mean mark is 74. Mean mark is 74. Has to sit one more test that is also to be marked out of 100. Wants his mean mark for his test to be 77. His mean mark he need to improve. Now they say 74 they have obtained out of 5 and another extra test is there. Ne? Now new mean should be 77. This is out of 6 tests. Ne? So 74 is mean mark mean sum over 5 values named. Previous one, check this. Why? Previous mean is equal to sum of all previous 5 tests. Sum of 5 tests. I'm dividing by number of tests. New mean mark. Forget. Is this formula clear to you? Because see, 74 is sum. 74 is mean mark for the previous 5 tests, which is equal to sum of previous 5 tests divided by 5. Right? I can take this and can't I find the sum of first 5 tests? So I'm writing sum of first 5 tests, 74 into 5. What is the value? 370. This many marks was there for the first 5 tests, right? Now you need to find, you need to get your new mean. New mean should be 77. New mean, how many tests are there? 6, which means 77 equal 370 plus x over 6 name. What is this x? X is marks for 6th test. Mama Gata taken x is the marks for the 6th test. So already I had 370 out of first 5 neither. For that I'm adding my marks of my 6th test and I'm dividing it by 6 and I should get 77. Is that clear to you the way I built this equation? Dinan? What I did, I used this formula. Sum of sum mean is equal sum of a number of values. 70. I built this using I got the sum of first 5 tests using the same formula, which is 370. Since he's doing another test, I don't know marks of the 6th test. So x is the marks for the 6th test. This is my assumption, right? Unknown term. If it is so, to get new mean, I need to add that new marks of the test to the previous sum and divide by 6. Why dividing by 6? Now, how many tests are there? 6 tests are there. Okay. We'll simplify it. You will get the value of x. Bring 6 over there. 77 into 6 equal 370 plus x. Do the math. Do it. Write it down and do it. This is put there for 460. Bring it over there. What the value of x? 92. X equal 92. Is that clear to you? Try it again. Try it again. Go home and try it again. Ravinder, not clear. Did it? Write it down. Write it down. Right now all the part. So that means that kind of right is easy. That's why that goes. I show you there's another method. I think it's easy, right? I show you. Algebra, this is algebra using algebra notation, right? Finish for me. Okay, check this out. That's another thing. Now, anyway, they say in the 5 test marks. 5 test mean 74. Therefore, sum of 5 tests 74 into 5, ne? That's obviously 6 tests they expect to get means 77. Therefore, sum of 6 tests 77 into 6. From that difference, you're getting value of 6 tests, marks of 6 tests. Therefore, marks for the 6. You don't need to write these sentences in the exam. Huh? I'm doing this for you to understand. 77 into 6 minus 74 into 5. Which is also 92. You can write it down. Method 2. Copy down. That also copy down. Okay, at least you will remember one method. Huh? Finish. Finish. Shall we move on? Right. Another Vinduni wrote it. Method 2. Very good. Method 2. Did you write method 1 also? Make sure write everything. Lamai, online Lamai. If you have questions, send me. Milni, Nithila, Lidusha and Adam. Send me, yeah. How did the finish? Okay. Okay. Next question. Question number 11. Now discussion is over. Focus. Okay. Third, is it? No, not that third. Okay. Now can you see left side we need power of 2. When I write a to the a square root, how can I write it as power? What's happening? What is square root a as a power of a? Someone tell me? Not someone. Right? If you see cube root, what is the Minduni? What is the value? Anes mama vidara dinne ne sorry letel. Huh? A to the power 1 over. Oh, I can talk loud. A to the power 3 outside 2. How can we write that as a power? Dina? A to the power 2 over 3. Very good. Good. Numerator will be outside power, root will be denominator. Right? When you put the write it down. Quickly write down. These are the theoretical part behind this question. I'm doing this with theory. Right? I know this is boring for some of you, but can't help, right? I want all of you to pass, get level, at least level 6. I don't want any of in my class to get more less than level 6. Level 6 mean B. Better than C. For you to get level 5, you don't need to come here. You can do foundation and get that. Foundation paper it's easy. It's easy. Foundation paper very easy. You can do it and get it. Only thing you don't have classes for foundation. Classes might be difficult. Okay. I'm gonna erase this. May I? Okay. Now I'm gonna apply the same theory over here. Square root 2. 16, can't I write it as power of 2? 2 to the power 4 into 2 to the power x. Square root 2, can't I write it as 2 to the power? 2 to the power 4 equal 2 to the power x. When you multiply powers with the same base, what we should do? Add the exponent. So 2 to the power half plus 4 equal 2 to the power x. Okay. 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 Base, is it same or not? Base same mean you can ignore base and you can write half plus 4 equal x. So x equal 4.5 or 4.5. Okay. Okay. No need to ask. 9 over 2 means 4.5. Even if you get 9 over 2, x equal 9 over 2, correct? Write it down if you get a different answer. Please talk to me if you can't understand this, if you have questions, anything. Talk. It's okay. Talk to me. If you have, don't keep any doubts with you, don't think about others. This is, imagine that you are here alone as an individual class and ask questions. I don't mind. 9 over 2. 9 over 2 means 4.5. If you write x equal 9 over 2, is it wrong? Huh? It's correct. Same answer. Right? Okay. Second part. I think you're done. Right? Okay. Okay. Again, I'm applying index rules. 11 minus 6 into 5. Power of power. 2 to the power a. A to the A power M outside n means A M into N. What is this? Power of power rule. Right? Power of power. So here power of power. See? So I'm multiplying them over 11 to the power 4 equal 11 to the power n. So I'm getting 11 to the power minus 30 over 11 to the power 4 equal 11 to the power n. 11 to the power minus 30 minus 4 equal 11 to the power n. When you bring this 4 to numerator, subtract. Minus 34 equal. Got it? Clear? Talk to me if these are not clear, right? Okay, finish. Minduni, clear. Ramindu, Ritel, Katakan, talk. Not clear. Me. Manula. Manula name Tenula. Is it clear? Is it clear with it? Okay. Yumira, Dakshin, Dina, Jai. Okay, cool. Shall I go to the other one? Number in interval. No intervals. Right? Okay. The diagram shows a sector of circle with radius 7. Work out the length of the arc of the sector. If I name it as A, B, and O, they want to find the AB arc length. What is the formula to arc length? Tell me, Radina. Into 5r squared. 2 5r. 5r squared. 2 5r. Then 5r squared එහෙම කුත් තියෙනවා නේ මොකද්ද? Theta over 360 into 5r squared. What is this? Area of what? Area of sector. Area of sector. Area of sector you can get using this formula. Mama dekam matak kara. I remind you both, right? Okay. Write these two formulas if you can't remember. I think are they giving that on the no. Put it just check. Sometimes some formulas are there in the this formula sheet, but it is not there. These two formulas you should be able to remind, right? Am I clear? Write it down if you can't remember. Area of sector. Theta is the unknown angle. Theta is unknown angle. Bad. For arc, never use D for any question. Mama then ekam upadesaka thamma ogalanta. I'm giving only one opinion to you. Don't use D. If you see D in a question, convert that into radius. You have to just divide it by 2. Diameter is twice the radius. So if you divide diameter by 2, you are getting radius. Always take the radius for your questions calculations. Don't deal with diameter because you are making it confused, right? Diameter, don't deal with diameter. Always convert that into radius and apply to questions, right? Okay. Here, so we work out the arc length sector, give you answer correct to 1 decimal place. So arc length theta is 50 over 360 into 2 pi r. Do you want me to calculate that? R is 7. Sorry, substitute 7. Yeah. I'll do a few questions using Cal also. May I type? See, you can type the same thing like this: 50 over 360 into 2 into 5 into 7. You know how to type these things? If you get answer like this, press this button. 6.108, they need it to 1 decimal place. Yeah, which means 6.1. What are the units? Square centimeters ne? Huh? Nanda? Centimeter. Eka dila tisa titire dina වෙලාවට නේ. තියෙනවා. Okay, luckily units are there. Okay. I'll give small break. Which question are we in? After 15th question? Oh no, now 10. 5 minutes. 5, 10, 15 I'm starting. Definitely 5 minutes gone. Okay.
One I did. But the marking scheme also.
Different.
Yeah.
Let me check with you. Diagram shows the sector of this circle with center and radius. Okay. A is the point on OB and D is a point on OC such that OA equal or equal 6 cm. OA equal or equal. Okay, both of them. Okay. Now will be 50. Given that the perimeter of the sector OBC 2 times the perimeter of the triangle OAD. Okay. And the value of x. So you found this pyramid of sector using 50 over 360 into 2 pi r. That's correct. 5 plus 2. 2 pi r. Okay. 6 plus 6. Okay. 2 into 6 plus. What is this? This is the answer. 2 into perimeter of triangle OAD. Perimeter of triangle OAD. 6. This one 6. AD have you found? Okay. 5.07.
So can I show it after class?
මෙතන වැරද්දලා තියෙනද නැහැ show me. Give me a pencil. මෙයා මෙතන දෙකෙන් වැඩි කරේ මේක R2 තරගෙන තියෙනවානේ 2 into 6 12 නේ 12 plus 5.07 right add them 17.0 so මේක දෙකෙන් වැඩි කරාද so you multiplied it by 2 so you got okay so equal to this one so here you are getting 50 over 62 5 6 plus 3x 12 plus 2 how you got 3x 2x okay this one from 3x how you got 3x shall we do the calculation I mean it looks correct 6 plus x what is this calculation this is what you should write now you got this one right 2 5 6 plus x right into 50 over 36 I'll write it as 5 over 36 right equal to 1734. It's right. Just check. I should get x. Where's x? X over there. So you expand the bracket and see. No need this much of calculation. Okay. Am I? Okay. Enough. Stop. Okay. I'm going to the other question. Question number 11. Okay. Now, focus. Okay. Expand and simplify. This is easy. This thing is you do 2 first and multiply it again with the last term, right? Let me take, maybe I'll expand the two brackets first. 2x, 3x into 2x, 6x squared. 3x into minus 3, minus 9x. 1 into 2x, 2x. 1 into minus 3, minus 3. So yeah, finally you again multiplied by 4. Before you do it, simplify it first. So minus 7x, minus 3. Now expand. 4 into 6, 24. X to the power 3. 4 into 7, 28. X squared, 12x. Yeah, cool. That's it. But it is easier. We don't need to waste our time for these things. Any questions? Question. Tenula, question for them? Huh? No questions. Question එකක් තියෙනවද? Oh, is it clear? Why? Okay. Copy it. Question number 14. Here is the number of goals that Henry's team scored one summer in each water polo match. Find the inequality range of the numbers of goals. Interquartile range, sorry. Range of the number of goals. Show your working clearly. What is interquartile range? Shh. Now, Lamai, Mokada Karane, Rithil, what's going on? Are you listening? And now listen, if you're discussing different question, now stop your work and give me attention. Previous one you need to check. Quickly write it down. What is interquartile range? Minduni? Q minus Q1. How can we get Q3? Q3 equal 304 into n plus 1. Good. Q1 is equal 104 into n plus 1, isn't it? Okay. What is n value? What is n? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. N equal 11. Lamai, remember, if this data is more than 30, no need to take n plus 1. Make it n. Right? When the number of data increase, no need n plus 1. But here you should take n plus 1. Right? What is the formula? Q1 value. Remember, not Q1. 104 into n plus 1. Formula Q3th value, Q not Q3. 304 into n plus 3, n plus 1. IQR, interquartile range, mean Q3 minus Q1. If you need, copy it down. Or if you need, copy down. N mean number of data. Okay. So what is Q1? Q1 value Q1 value equal 104 into 11 plus 1. So 104 into 12, third value. Q2 values equal 304 into 12, which is ninth value. So what is third value? Q1 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This name Q3. Therefore, IQR 16 minus 9, 7. Okay. Copy it down, copy it down. If there's anything that you need to copy down, copy down. Sarvade? 31. Is it previous one? I'll after this there, right? I'll show you. Before I go to other page, I'll show you, right? Copied it. The tenula finish. Okay, all finish. Okay. Answer for 13th one. The this is the 24x cube minus 28x squared minus 12x. Okay. Is it a good question? I don't know. You tell me. Looks like. What is this? Come quick. This is a good question. Right? After this one. Can you hold it? No. P, Q, R are points on a circle center O. TRV is a tangent to the circle at R. Okay. Reflex angle POR 238. QRV 60 degrees. Calculate the size of OPQ angle. What is OPQ angle? This one. Okay. Minduni, what do you know about tangent to a circle? Are there any theories that you know related to tangents? Raise your hand if you know. Tasandi, when you draw a tangent to circle, there's a theorem related to tangents. What is it? 90 degree tangent to circle. Radius drawn to the point of contact is perpendicular to tangent. See here, you can see radius. OR is a radius or not? So here you can mark 90 degrees. That is one theory. What else do we know? Can we find this angle? What is that angle? Angle around 0.360. So subtract 238 out of 360. What is the value? 122. Can't we find this angle? What is that theorem? Angle subtended on the center twice angle down. So which is what? 61. Okay. So which is 61. Now this is 60. This is 90. Can't we find this angle? Imagine I'll give it a name, simple R. Can't we find R? Yes or no? How? Angles in a straight line add up to what? 180. So I can write 90 plus R plus. You can put these letters if you need, and the paper. What is simple letter? For if that angle, because you need to use capital 3 letters to name angle, that is headache, right? That is hectic. So put a simple letter. 60 equal 180. Right? Give reasons for each stage of your working. Reason what is the reason? Angles in straight line, isn't it? Write them down. Reason. See, question they clearly say give a reason for each stage of your working. Because of angles in stage, I wrote this. So similarly, Pute, tell them that PO PQ is angle at center twice angle at circumference. Those reasons must be there, right? Okay. What is the value of R? 115, sorry. R. Now, if I draw a line from here to here, see, I'm drawing a line. Okay. Now, are you guys agree with me that this is radius, this is radius, this is also radius? They are equal. So on this isosceles triangle, can you see there are two isosceles triangles? One is OQR is isosceles. OQP also isosceles. Got it? Exactly. Huh? These two triangles isosceles. So this angle also, let me give a letter P. Isn't this P? Why? Because we know when you draw isosceles triangle, if these two sides equal, these two angles equal or not? Didn't we learn this in the class? Huh? Can you remember? When you have isosceles triangles, angles opposite to equal sides equal. You all know that. You all know that. Is that clear? Not clear. Then question me, right? According to that, if this is P, this is also P. Since this is R, this is also R. Okay. Now you know value of R, which means if you subtract R out of 61, can't you get P? Am I clear? Now Pute, this P plus R, isn't it equal to 61? All right. P plus R equals 61. Is that clear to all of you? I know R. P plus 30 equal 61, which means P equal 61 minus 30, 29 ne? Isn't this what we need? Therefore, finally write. Therefore, OPQ 29. Okay? Copy that. Did I make a mistake? Hello? Okay. 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 Sure. Sure. Okay, thank you. Subtraction, I have small problem when I was small. Right? 31. Right? The alternate segment we have that. Now this one, if I connect this one, this is 60, then this is 60. How you did that? I got a different answer. No, wrong. Why? This is the alternate segment. We draw this. See, this is the coordinate. This is the chord, and this is the tangent. This is the angle that makes it chord. So you get the same angle over here. Only if you connect this. Correct? Explaining the way. I'm sorry.
Same segment
Say, I'll discuss that. No, we can't. Show me how you did that.
ගානක් හොයාගත්ත මෙතන කර මේක සේම් සෙග්මන්ට් එකනේ තියෙන්නේ මේ ලයින් එක.
කොයි ලයින් එකද?
මෙතන මේ දෙකම දැන් මෙහෙම ලයින් එක වැද්දොත් සෙග්මන්ට් දෙකේ එකනේ තියෙන්නේ.
Show me the line. Can you draw it and show? Do you have pen?
ලයින් එක බලන්න පුළුවන් රූල් එකකින් වගේ. ඊට පස්සේ මෙතන සෙග්මන්ට් එක එනවනේ.
No. You can't take it like that. No. Not possible, right?
I get 33.12. You don't have to guess. Have the answer point.
We check that at the end. I definitely check, right? I'm giving my full right. I'll do that on the whiteboard, right? Yeah. Oh. Some explain it really. Okay. Quadrilateral. Yeah, that's fine. That's obviously fine. Because arrowhead is a quadrilateral. That's fine. Yeah. Complete, right? Okay. Is that clear to all of you? Huh? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go to the other question. Any questions? No. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. There was a question. Let me take the same question and explain it to you. Right? Because from that we can learn something, right? That's why. Now don't think go home and think other category only question 11 12. No, not like that. You know that how many questions that we discussed when we discussed one part, right? So don't worry. Since we are covering theoretical parts with this, so now I check this out for a while. Okay, everybody, shh, need your attention. Now there was a question whether can we take this as angle in alternate segment. Who can remember alternate segment theorem? Okay, okay. Let me draw a circle. The circle theorems. I go home and study circle theorems. I'm humbly requesting you because without that, very difficult to do these questions, right? So make sure you go home and do this, right? Now I'm drawing tangent to this circle, right? What is alternate segment theorem? When I draw a chord like this, now you can see a chord, right? Alternate segment theorem. Go home, study circle, the whole circle. How many circle theorems I taught you? How much? How many circle theorems we discussed? 9. Very good. At least that remember. Can you tell all the 9? Go home and study those 9 circle theorems. If any of you don't have that 9, let me know. I'll send you a note. Study. Make any note tab right? Do that thing, right? I told you at the beginning when I discussed the paper, just take the same questions and do it again. Time, somehow you find the time, right? Okay. If you really want to get A, B. Okay. right? This angle is angle between chord and tangent. You will get the same angle if you connect these to alternate segment. So here you will get, if this is x, this is also x. Why we call alternate segment? Because when you draw a chord, this we call small segment, this bigger one we call major segment, minor segment. So you guys can you guys see this red green color x angle here, which is on this related to small segment. This is in the other side of the chord. That is why we call the other segment alternate segment, right? So according to that, if you draw a line from here to here, yeah, this is what you will get as alternate segment, right? We cannot relate this. This will be 60. Got it, channel? That is the reason, right? So using alternate segment, we can't find. Maybe you can, but I didn't try. You guys see. No, I don't think so. No. Right? Small reminder about alternate segment here. Okay, I'm going to question number 16. Use algebra to show that the recurring decimal is equal to that. Converting recurring into fraction. Raise your hand, those who can remember this. I hope. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Okay. Theory. I'm gonna teach you the theory. The recurring number. Now, according to this question, what are the digits which recurs? Can you see these two dots on top of 1 and 3, which means only 1 and 3 recurs. 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3. This is how this number goes. So since only 1 and 3 recurs, we put two dots on top of 1 and 3. Got it? Okay. Now what you need to do is, since it has two unrecurring numbers, non-recurring numbers are there, 2 and 8, they are non-recurring. First of all, you are writing the original number as x. That is the very first step. Right? What the very first step? Original given number as x. Name it as equation 1. The second step, we need to remove non-recurring digits into unit side. Therefore, to do that, I have to multiply equation 1 by what? To bring these 2 and 8 to the other side of the decimal, what you should do? Multiply it by 100. Then I'm getting 100x. Why? When you multiply x also, you need to multiply by 100. This also you need to multiply by 100. Left and right, both we are multiplying by 100. Right? 100x equal 28.13. Now recurring are in decimal side. I'm gonna name it as 2. Now what? Now if you subtract these two, you can remove all the decimals. So 2 minus 1. So here I'm getting 100x minus 6 in left side. 100x minus 6. This side, sorry, did I make a mistake? 1 3. Oh, no, sorry. I need another equation. Sorry, I need another equation. Now I have the second equation. My recurrings are on the right side, two numbers are on the left side. Again, I need to multiply equation 2 by 100. Why I am doing that? I need to bring another set of recurring to non-recurring side, right? So for that I need to multiply. Why I multiplied by 100? Because I have two recurring digits, right? So I'm getting 10,000 x equal 2813.13 recur. Equation 3. What is the very first step? Naming number as x. Second step, bring the non-recurrent digits to left side from the decimal point. Then what is the third step? Since you have two recurring digits, again you are multiplying by 100. Here, why I multiplied by 100? Since I had two recurring digits. Here, why I multiplied by 100? Since I had two non-recurring digits in the decimal side. All this has a reason, na? Okay. We might get questions like this. Then I'll, there are different types of questions, right? So recurring. Let me try to. Shall I share tube? Small tube with recurring to convert fraction. Small tube today. Eh? Now what? To remove this, I'm subtracting 3 minus 2. When you do that, you are getting 10,000 x minus 100x. Here you are getting 2,813.13 minus 13 recur minus 28.13 recur. See, when you subtract, can you see this side, this part? Let me show you in normal subtraction. Like this, there are thousands of millions of decimal points are there, but we don't need to consider. We are subtracting. When you subtract, what happens? 3 minus 3, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. All these are zeros. Got it? 3 minus 8 means 13 minus 8, 5. Am I correct? 2000. Oh, correct, yeah. So then I can write what is 10,000 minus 100x? 900 x equal 2,785. Who wrote this? Right, correct, Now what? This part, shall I keep it over here for you to get an idea? I'll bring it over here, right? Write it as fraction, simplified. Divided by 5 and 6. Divide both numerator and denominator by 5 quickly. When you divide, what you're gonna get? Divide by 5, both numerator, denominator, divide by 5, please. What is 557 over? Is that what we need? You. Okay, you might need marks. This is the correct method. Right? Finish? Even if it is 2 marks. What is question number 16? Now, little bit getting little difficult, not that hard. Still, these are not difficult. Huh? I'll give you to it. We'll do all the types of questions you might expect from this, and that's it. Trust me, when you do few papers, 3-4 papers, things will be easy. Okay, shall I move to the answer? Copy it. Question. Other papers also. Until few papers I'm doing this. But I need your support. You should do the homework. As I told you, you should go home and do these questions again. Up to 16th. Now to probably I'll be able to do another 2 questions. So that questions you need to do again and practice. In meantime, I'll share some tips from these questions. Please practice this. Right? Okay, shall we move on? Shall I give you one question from this? Because I feel it's better to do one question out of this rather than going for this. I'll give one recurring digit question. Again from the same oral paper, right? Quickly finish this, copy it down. Take a random question. I found one. I don't know year, don't ask. Right? But I'm doing it now, right? Because I felt it's good since we are already discussing this. Have you all finished copying? Done? Okay, try this question, Lamai. I don't know yet. Too much? It is. Okay, check this out. Try this one. I'll give some time. Take a piece of paper. How many non-recurring digits are there? One. First, write down this number as X. That is the first. Right? Very first step. 0.254 as X. For the second step, remove the 2 into, bring in the 2 into left side of the decimal point. So that we multiply that X equal equation 1 by 10. Right? Then you are getting 10x equal 2.54 liter. So this time, do some questions by we do this time. Doing it good. Now this today, finish the paper back. When you come to class, bring the whole paper back. Everybody. So then you can finish one by one. Now see, x is equal to 0.254. This is equation 1. To remove this decimal 2 to left side, bring this decimal 2 to left side, have to multiply that by 10, which means x into 10, 10x, other than 2.54. That is equation 2. Now, how many recurring digits are there? How many recurring digits are there? 2, which means equation 2 should multiply by 2 recurring digits, 100 to get the equation 3. So 10x into 100, 1000x. 2.54 into 100, 254.545454. Correct. Okay, I'll write the equations for you. Hmm? 1000. First, x equal 0.254. Equation 1. Since I have to 1 into 10, which means left side multiply, both sides you need to multiply by 10, eh? Not only this side. 10x equal 2.54 recur. Equation 2. Equation 2 multiplied by 100. Why 100? 2 recurrent digits. 10 into 100, 1000 x. Bring decimal point, 254.54 recur. You can put any number of 54s over here because you know recurring. Equation 3. Now what? Equation 3 minus equation 2, not equation 2 minus 1, not equation 3 minus 1. 3 minus 2. Then you are getting 1000x minus 10x. 254.54. If you need, write it 54 minus 250. Sorry, 2.54. Here, what you need to check is if you do this correctly, when you subtract, everybody check this. Now see my subtraction. All the equal number should be in the same column. See, can you see? 5 is below 5. 4 is below 4. In case if you see something different than that, which means you made some mistake. Imagine if you get 254.5454 minus 25.4545. Is it correct? No, your decimal part is not going to be 0. Which means you made a mistake somewhere. Fine. 5 minus 4, you are getting 1, 1, 1. If you do it properly, all your decimals part should be 0. That is the whole point. Did you get what I'm saying? Okay. Now you can subtract peacefully. See, you are getting another 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 5, 2. So here you are getting 990x. Here you are getting 252. So x equal 252 over 990, which means divide both numerator and denominator by 2. Here, what is the common factor? I don't know. Divide it by 2 and see. 4. 4. But the common factor, I don't know. Find the equivalent fraction. If it is difficult, divide it by 2 and go. Divide. Then you will get the final answer. Anyway, you are getting 14 over 51. I got 15 over 14 over 55. What factor? 18. If you divide by 18, if you divide this by 18, you are getting that, right? Which is 14 over 55. Copy down. Now you have idea, ne? Now okay, ne? Unfortunately, there are only 2 questions in the paper pack, but we don't know. Maybe this year you will get a recurrent to fraction question. Okay. Do you want to do one more question? Yes, sir. Yeah. Still copying. Yeah. Question. Which question we were in? I can't remember. 16. Okay. Are we doing 18? No, 17? Shall we quickly do 17 and finish? Huh? Oh, well, finish. Ne? So, up to 16th question, you need to do and come. I'll share a small tune from recurring decimals while, right? After a while. As I told you, now this paper might take some time, right? 18th, we have next day, definitely we can finish this paper and start and finish half of 2H paper. So next week, I'll try my best to come. If not, I'm giving you 4 papers to do. Before you do anything, what is the first priority? Do these 16 questions again and try. Check whether you can do them without any help. That is the first thing you need to do, Budi, right? I'll share everything to the group, right? This week's papers I'll share to the group, right? Your marks I will give you your marks for the previous paper soon, right? Don't worry about your marks. Try to improve little by little, right? Maybe you don't have that much marks. Don't worry. Okay, if you guys finish copying, you can leave, right? Try to join physical class. Next week also, I'm going a little slower, as I told you, because the very first few papers I'm discussing everything. That's why, right?